fault.
Okay.
Everyone's going to have to let us know when.
Low.
Should be good now.
Sound is gone forever.
Sounds.
Monday. We want to catch up audio. That's better. There it is.
Yeah.
This is my voice.
Oh
My
dear,
name is
that's
John.
it.
Hello.
Says
Let's do a stream.
Right. Anyway.
Animation.
So yeah, what we were saying.
That's good. It ate into our 1 hour slot though.
Yeah,
because we haven't got much to show.
You're only going to have to do. You've only got 59 minutes.
Oh no.
Nightmare. We are here today to share
Classic audio problems.
audio.
It wasn't my fault
Yeah.
this time.
No, the thing wasn't plugged in. It's got a really loose USB connection, so
Oh, dear.
it's always got problems. Right, we're going to do some animation tips. So if you've got some questions, let us know in the chat, and I'll ask Mike and Pablo and John over here.
Yeah.
Me and Tom will look at the chat.
Double act, Tom bloke back in, and it all was good.
Gotta go fast.
Hello, everyone.
everyone.
Look at that. Right, we're going to
What's
jump
going
in, and Mike and Pablo are going to start showing.
Okay. I suppose since we released the game, haven't we? Yeah.
We have.
Dreams is out. You can say.
There's a few new features.
How terribly
So
exciting.
we got. Might as well show you all what it all means.
Exciting.
Exactly. So in here, we've got some new sort of runs and walks and sort of turns and anticipations and things like that, or new outputs that are on here, which then has like you got idle. So that means you can stick poses in, and you can do special walk poses, special run poses. Ta-da!
So how do you utilize that? How would you use that then, Mike? Like,
Just like as before, you kind of create a key pose.
Yeah.
So say if you want to so what kind of pose should we go for?
like this.
For an idle pose,
Exactly.
that's too strong. Okay. I'm gonna go.
Tell I'm not an animator.
Let's go generic kind of squatty pose.
Okay.
I'm side on.
Oh, I see. Like character select pose.
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah.
We can give it a little breather as well.
Yeah,
right, increase the breathiness.
Yeah. Good idea. Something like this. Oh,
Mirror.
don't do that. Ta-da.
Smooth.
We'll tweak the pose as we go on, but for now. So if we now go in here, go idle strength wash.
Okay.
So if I hit play, it's also actually when you're doing animation, it's always very good to be in play mode, so you can see what things light up, what are playing, and what aren't playing.
So now you're in idle. So,
yeah.
so then if you controlled the character and ran,
Exactly.
you would come out of that pose.
Exactly.
and-
So say if we pin this and then we go watch this thing light up, da-da-da,
Oh, I see.
and then as you stop, it'll go.
Oh, that's
pose.
neat.
Oh.
Neat. Also, I noticed when you were animating, then were you doing FK or IK?
No, so when you move the hips,
Yes.
the feet will automatically IK.
Yeah.
It can be sometimes annoying, but also
Yeah.
most of the time, it's pretty useful
Yeah.
because then you can sort of do a quick squat pose.
I see.
Bosh.
Because on the DualShock, you can, depending how you grab it, whether you grab with L1 or
That's right. Yeah.
R2,
So
is it L2 or R2?
R2 gives you IK, and what IK means is
Like this, you grab
inverse kinematics. So that means if you wanted to
Words.
animate someone pushing a box, you could then lock his hands. It's like,
it. Yeah.
Smart.
if
Whereas
you want-
FK is just rotations, right? From,
exactly,
from
yeah.
the point.
And so if I undo all of that, and there's a very subtle difference in terms of the hatching as well. Yellow means IK, and this sort of green, dark green means FK. So if we,
What does FK stand for?
Forward
Forward.
kinematic.
It's going
Kinematics.
forward on the chain.
That's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, pro tip, and correct me if I'm wrong, when you do FK, it only stores rotation, but IK stores position as well, so it's more expensive to do IK than it is to do on FK, because IK will create 6 wires, or actually probably 7 wires, I have to ask Alex, but IK and FK only creates 3 wires. I believe.
goodness me.
Interesting.
So,
But if you have a cube floating around and you keyframe, it's always going to be IK because you always keyframe
yes,
the location.
yeah,
right?
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Unless
That's very nice to know.
you're only using L2 to rotate it. So
It still will key position.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But anyway, use FK if you can because it's a bit cheaper.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay. Wow. That's
If
amazing.
you're
Difference
using
between FK and IK, that's basically forward
Yes.
and revert backwards.
Yeah.
basically.
So ready? If you look at my arm, ready, and I grabbed just this bit and twisted that, that's FK, and the rest of it sort of stays in position.
It follows.
Like that, because it's going forward down the chain, whereas IK is grabbing this, and it kind of like moving and matching like that.
And at the moment, our system only does supports freebone IK, so that's why it doesn't go up the whole chain.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Whoa.
It starts getting very confusing because it's a bit
Exactly.
like when you grab a snake and you kind of squidge it together, how does it like fold up? It's like unpredictable. So having more than a few chains is like hard work.
But the three links in the chain is the maximum that we do.
Yeah.
So in a snake, you would see only
be
3
like-
chains modified, and then you have to go up.
Keep going, exactly.
A question
Yes.
Okay. All right.
from Maron16.
Hello.
Please show how to keep procedural animations but have the hands be used to hold a two-handed melee weapon, and also how to do sword swings.
Oh my
One thing
word.
before that, if you are, sorry, I forgot, if you're animating using the motion controllers, to change between IK and FK, you do that gesture, and then you will see the imp spinning around, and you will hear the sound. So that will... Beep, beep.
Oh, yeah, you do that again, I just heard it the sound.
Yeah. Do you see that? That
Why don't
changes-
you demo it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, nice. Oh, look at that swift move chain. Oh, smooth, guys.
If you're keyframing using the moves again, and I want to grab the hand, by default it's IK. As you can see, the arm is following. Like I'm able to grab and move the hand around, and it makes that hatched yellow line, so it's FK. But if instead of that I do this gesture, bumping the
little
secondary
spin
one
happens.
on the bottom, then when you grab it, then it's FK. You can only rotate it like
Nice.
Beyond.
Handy.
So that's how you do it on the move controllers again, is bumping the secondary on the bottom of the primary one.
Neat.
Cool.
Sorry, what was the question then?
Sword.
Sword, yeah, or two-handed weapon.
How do you make them? How do you make the procedural animation? Please show how to keep procedural animations, but have the hands be used to hold a two-handed weapon,
I suppose.
and also how to make the swings.
Whoa.
Is it
That's a whole two
Is that,
extreme.
is that an easy?
Well,
question?
let's try it.
possible?
Let's go. Okay, so let's make a little sword.
I guess
I mean,
so. Procedurally, when the character is running, the arms are also doing this. So
Yeah.
what they're asking is,
yeah. So you
can the
could-
arms be overridden by the animation?
I suppose you could power off the arms, couldn't you? So let's.
You could reduce the arm vigor.
Exactly,
as well.
yeah.
This is going to be a fancy sword, isn't it, Mike?
It's not. It's like, there you go.
It's a fake
Boss.
Damn.
I should stick a
Stick
nail in
fighting's
it.
cool. It's like,
And so, look, if anything,
It's more like a bat. That's
yeah,
that's-
okay. That's
yeah.
fine, yeah.
Okay,
What
so
is safety first, really?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a foam bat. Boink.
Yeah.
actually, I'm not sure what's going to happen. So let's just see what happens when we go. Give them a little walk. So at the moment, down here, you can see a little preview. So if you click on walk, we'll go walk.
So just then, Mike scoped into the hand and dragged the
Oh yes, that's right. Yeah,
the
so I
bat
grouped
into the hand.
Yeah, that's right. And if possible, always try. If you group anything within the puppet, it's always good to turn off the collision. Otherwise, it will start hitting itself, which isn't a
Stop
good
hitting
thing.
yourself. Stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself. Yeah.
So say if we go right, we want to walk, but at the moment it's got some arm vigor. So if you turn that off, it sort of isolates.
There's also 1% of flail, arm flail.
Oh yeah, okay, there you go. So say if we then go for a little swinging animation. Actually, how would you do it? I suppose.
Turn the game down.
Oh, yeah, sure. Sorry.
No worries.
I was like, everyone needs to know that switching between IK and FK sound.
I was already just
forgot to
too
turn it down
loud.
after.
Okay, and then we go. So do they want it running, swinging?
They just wanted to know how
To run while holding.
Yeah, run and
Run
while
the-
holding it,
run and-
without it wobbling all over the place. I
Okay.
presume.
Yeah, so you can't actually isolate one hand when running. So
Shock.
shock. What is this? Okay, should we just do a very simple jab, stab,
Yeah. So
poke? Oh, by the way, there's a little quick. So if you hold down Shift and D-pad, left and right, you can switch between the key poses.
While you're in record mode. right?
While you're in record mode, yeah. So you can turn. So say if I don't want to add a little breakdown, and then so it's like sort of, I could sort of flip.
Oh, I see. Whoosh, whoosh.
Let's go for overhead swing. So
Whack, 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 whack.
and then I'm not sure. I'm sure everyone knows this, but if you hold down Shift and D-pad left, you can zoom in onto this timeline and you start seeing frames.
It's cool. So this doesn't increase the time. That just
No, so it's a
gets
horizontal
closer. And
zoom.
those little lines you can see that are vertical are every frame.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yes, that's right. Yeah. So say if we go now,
If you,
Why-
if you don't see those lines, you
Yeah.
may be on beat, on music timeline mode. If you click on the time up there, you can
Change
change
from
right, yes.
BPM to actual time.
yes.
Oh, I did not know that.
So we put that in there. So I wired it up to square. So
Okay.
again, while we're in test mode, it's always quite good just to see what it looks like. So I press.
A few people did not know about the Shift and D-pad thing.
Oh, there we
So
go.
it's a
Excellent.
top tip.
Bonus feature.
Okay, so yes, actually, the idle is interfering with my attack move
Oh,
because this is on. Oh no! So how would we disable that?
Show us, Mike. Show
Show
us.
us.
Yeah.
Should we use nodes? There's multiple ways of doing it, I suppose.
Yep. There's
So you could have a node here. So this would always carry a.
there's lots of ways to knit a cat.
Knit a cat.
Yeah.
And so within this animation here, I could create a keyframe here and go, well, every time I press square, power this off. So therefore it disables the signal going in. I go, wallop.
That's really good. So people probably can use exclusive gates or AND gates. There's like
Yeah.
loads of different ways of doing it,
Yeah.
but that's Mike's preferred way, which is super
So
useful.
actually, yes, let's have it on play.
While Mike is doing that, Pablo, with the moves, is there a way to switch between the frames like there is L1 and D-pad?
No.
No, there isn't.
At the moment.
But you can
I
scale
know.
up the timeline really fast, right?
Yes. Let me show you.
There you go. Look how slow that is on the D-pad. Go on.
And with the moves, with the motion controllers, you can like. It's super fast to scale timelines up and down.
Oh,
And I'm getting used to using the motion controls for animation as well, because you can grab the hand of the puppet or something and reach back and animate the kind of thing like in VR, but without the need to be in VR. And
Just got the
scaling timelines, because if you have a
So
long
how do you do
timeline.
that again? What do you press?
Sorry, I'm pressing the scaling shortcut, which is circle on the secondary and twist the secondary controller.
Nice.
And then if you grab with the primary trigger and then press circle and twist, then you scale up and down.
There you go.
We have fun just doing that all day.
Yeah.
Like,
And because when you
Forget
have,
animation.
often you have. It's just very, for me, it's like, it feels very fast to work with all these canvases
By
around.
dreams. Scale those time.
But when you have like a long animation, right, and you want to quickly get to the end of it or whatever, or then zoom in a specific point, you can just do that.
oh, is that it zooms in where the playhead is?
No,
right?
if you
Oh, so-
where the imp is hovering,
Where the imp is hovering. Okay.
which is
Oh,
so
wow.
useful.
It's because I saw
Yeah.
you move the playhead at that point.
Does the
Oh, yeah.
DualShock not do that? Is it not from where you point in? It is from where you point
Let's compare it with the DualShock.
Right, okay, I'm going to zoom
But
in.
it's
timer.
just going to be very slow.
Okay,
It does.
it's where,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, well,
good.
there we go.
We thought about that.
It's the same, it's just a bit slower. That's all.
How clever.
Yeah. Okay,
Let's continue with the.
Back to
Okay.
my.
Back
Watch,
to-
watch, watch,
back to
watch.
the
the demonstration.
There was
Okay, looks like I want it to be quicker.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, what was that?
No. If you're not finished this bit, because there's a question off the back of this.
Okay, so running. So while we're running, we might want to disable this arm, and then do a few. Actually, yeah.
Inocrut says, who is currently animating those 4 puppets on the sofa? They look very lifelike.
That's a Pablo joke.
Yeah, I like that.
Oh, let's turn this off. Okay. So while I'm walking now, I should be able to swing. Wah, 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 wah.
Take that, you bad guys.
Yeah.
Nice.
Running. Bosh, 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 bosh.
Cool.
That
And
answered-
you will notice that Mike's using the playtest mode to playtest his animations.
Oh,
'cause
yes,
then you can
yeah.
actually see the logic running. And,
Oh yes,
and
that's right. Yeah. So a lot of the time
really helps.
Yes. Yeah. I suppose actually, if you're doing a two-handed weapon, actually, so then if it.
Ooh,
was-
two-handed weapon.
Oh my goodness.
Oh no! What have I? I shouldn't
This
have
is
said
this is notoriously tricky.
shield. Yeah. Should we have a shield? Yeah.
Ah.
Two-handed weapon.
Two-handed. The question was two-handed weapon.
Yeah.
So you
Well,
got it.
You can use a shield as a weapon.
Yeah, but it's not a two-handed weapon, no.
Fine.
oh no.
Oh, I see what you mean, like a staff.
Yeah. Like both
Or a-
hands are holding at the same time.
Okay.
So something like that. Could be running.
Is it going to work?
And then, so then when I tweak this running pose, I suppose I want that running pose to be holding onto this thing.
Amazing.
Or try and be optimised what John says. No,
don't listen to me.
actually, you probably don't want it to be IK anyway
No.
when you're doing. Oh no, well, he's holding his wrist. Okay, there we go.
That is holding it with intent.
Okay, so now when it runs, ki. But obviously, with a little bit more time on the animation.
So one thing I've done, which I don't know if it works exactly, because when I originally did the guitar battle with Francis, I just literally bolted both hands to the guitar, or one was in a group and then one was bolted. But then you make the hand just physical instead of like movable, and then it kind of just like flops around. So this is the only thing that's getting animated, like the guitar, and then this is just like attached to it as if it's like a bunch of sausages.
There's loads of sort of there's loads of techniques. Like when I animated Art carrying the double bass, they were fake arms. There was 4 arms on him. one which was holding in a sort of double bass pose, and then when it switched out of putting it down, I think 2 fake arms appeared. Then I could animate both hands doing the double bass going up and down. So and then when it picks it up, it switches back to the.
It's all smoke and mirrors.
Exactly.
Behind.
It's all smoke and mirrors.
But the way both
Sorry,
hands,
that's an octopus, I didn't know.
the way both hands are on the bass, right? And when the bass moves, they're following. That's hard to do otherwise.
Yeah.
Off the back of this question.
Oh yes. What else?
Clayus asks, can you make it so you can't spam the swing animation? They were trying to do that at a kick last night.
Like a cooldown.
Oh, yeah, cooldown.
Cool down.
Here you go, Pablo. Cool down. Chill out.
Cool it, man.
So I think
There's loads of ways of doing this, isn't there? You could use another node,
sandwich.
actually, couldn't you?
you could just
And disable the square input going in while that timeline's being played. So
That's what I would.
There's multiple ways of doing it.
Which one is it? This one here?
Yeah.
So what I would probably do is just make the timeline a bit longer, and then just make it so you can't press the square button while the timeline's going on. Like,
That's
and then
so simple and elegant. I love it.
You can set the timeline to the length of your particular cooldown. Then
That's it. So until the timeline has finished, you can't press square again.
Oh no,
So-
but during the animation, they didn't want it to be.
Yeah.
spun.
Yeah.
I see.
So
Right. Okay.
this one will power down the node that I just deleted.
I think that node's already got some animations.
yeah, it's already got an animation, so you might need a separate node. But yes, that.
Loop. So as soon as you press square,
Yeah.
this keyframe will
Disable.
disable the
node.
option for you to
Press square again.
until it's finished.
Yeah.
So
Oh, cool.
something like that, right?
Yep. Give it a
Let
go.
me pin that, and so we can see it.
See if it's working.
Play mode.
It's always good to try and do things the simplest way possible. Okay. It's because
Because this one as well is rewinding the timeline. Sorry.
yeah.
So we need this one. Actually,
You just
Well,
rewind
if
the
you don't want
timeline
it
with
to-
itself. Yeah, exactly. There you go. So you can't press square until
There
that
you go.
keyframe
Until-
stops working. And then depending how long you make that keyframe or that timeline is how you can... It's one way of doing it anyway.
it's an elegant way.
Simple.
Very simple, less logic.
No,
So you don't need this at
useful.
all anyway.
And
Any other questions coming?
We have. Let's have a look. We have one from. I can't pronounce your name. Sorry, I don't want to mispronounce it. How, like a general tip, how to make animations smoother? The person asking is kind of jolt between poses in keyframes.
I suppose it depends on what states you're going into.
Yeah.
You
I mean,
can
the good
blend-
thing is turning on smoothing on keyframes because they have their own inbuilt smoothing.
Yeah.
And sometimes turning on the springiness a tiny bit of keyframes or of the puppet itself helps iron things out because it adds a bit of like, instead of like this, it goes zoom and like overshoots and you get a bit of smoothness, right?
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Powering timelines as well. Fading down timelines and fading one up is a really good way of smoothing out animations as well, rather than microchips, because you can't fade microchips with power. You can
I
only
see. But you can fade timelines.
Timelines, yeah.
Ah, that's very interesting.
So yeah, it's a bit trickier to sort of demonstrate Yeah.
So if you
need lots of
had
steps.
a looping timeline, for example, which was like bobbing up and down like this, and then you put in full power into it, it's bobbing, and then less and less power. It bobs
Okay, yeah,
less
let's try
and
that
less,
then.
is that right?
Let's do that then.
Yeah,
let's make a little idle, and then what's it going to do? Swing.
What happened to its face?
I wanted a nose.
Oh.
Such a good nose.
I'm
So
sorry.
it's a Pig Detective rendition.
Oh, fine.
Yeah, now we know how
Fine.
they did it.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Mysteries have been revealed.
Oh no.
Oh no. There we go.
Whack. Okay, that's
Incredible.
Nice.
okay, this could be very slow because I'm not zoomed in. Oh yeah, that's right. Other little short tricks. If you press Shift and X, you could change the different blend types inside, in between the keyframes. So if that's slow in, and then
Yeah. And then scale up or down.
up and down for the strength. Again, these are all hidden. Not hidden. They're all here. So if I go,
Oh, cool.
it's just,
I didn't know that.
I love it when people are like,
Oh man,
It's so
yeah,
good.
it's usually me because I just do sounds and there's all this stuff.
I just do sounds.
you do
It's
very
pretty
good sound,
impressive.
Lisa.
Okay, so let's go. So this was my idol. So if we have that one. Because they're all the same.
Oh no.
Go away, grid.
So Mike's made the two end ones the same, and then he's making the middle one different. So now we're going to get bobbing up
So
and
now
down.
it's going to be
time
idle,
goes. So, bob,
breathing.
bob, bob.
And so hopefully, I don't know what's going to happen. Actually, because the swing animation is so quick.
I like how he straightens up.
Well, yes, there's a few missing things here. Okay, well, we need all
No,
its
it's
feet.
perfect.
We need all its feet posed inside this thing, don't we? So let's put its feet those in here.
Was it L1 plus up and down for the easing the strength?
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
I don't know why.
Or just
I don't
up
know
and
why I replied to you as well, Tap, because you can hear us say yes. So sorry, but you've just got this answer twice.
I think L1X to change the type, and then just up and down to change the strength, right? With the other one?
That's true, actually. Yeah, you're right.
So which one was it that was powering down my node? This one.
Yeah.
So you can have it sort of ramping.
Yeah, so there's certain gadgets in timelines, keyframes being one of them, where it has little tiny nodes at the top, and you can pull that little top node along, which is like powering it up over the course of that line, which is really good. It means you can do lots of animations with single keyframes, and you don't need to do the multiple keyframes blending together, which is really handy.
If all you need is a simple linear interpolation,
Yeah, yeah.
you can just that.
What was I doing here? I can't remember now. Okay, right. So when bosh, that sort of blends.
Yeah.
I suppose because the animation's so quick anyway, it's very hard to tell, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I suppose you could actually even power it back up.
But essentially,
edges.
you just want to use the powers on
Use
the
the
timeline
powers.
and on the keyframe to like blend them into each other.
Yeah.
Dream.
And also it helps actually having. Sorry. So what I did there was I copied the idle pose into here, but just deleted the arms.
Yeah.
So it's always good to try and match your end pose.
Yeah. So when Mike
Start and
says
end
he
pose with
deleted the
your-
arms, he meant he deletes the animation
Sorry.
of the arms.
Yeah, sorry.
So
Terminology. This is why you're here, John.
And
This is why
so what he does is he tunnels into that keyframe at the bottom with Shift X, and then you'll see what's animated with the hatching, and then he goes around pressing triangle on the ones he doesn't want
Yeah.
to animate anymore. So you can copy parts of a keyframe basically, which is really useful.
Yeah.
And Mike only wanted the feet.
Actually, oh yes, yeah. So what's also useful if you wanted to sort of multi-select everything, and then you can now press triangle to delete the animations, and it deletes them all off,
Oh no!
all of them. So that's quite clever if you ever wanted to do that.
Handy.
Yeah.
More questions
Yes,
coming
a
through?
couple of
Tom?
people have
Was that
asked
in
about how would you make a character run in place in play mode. So obviously you can preview a run
Oh, I see.
like
Yeah.
by looking at the tweak menu, but how would you do it in play?
Interesting.
I don't think you can unless you just went full-blown keyframe animation
Yes.
and animated it with the legs going.
Yes.
You could stick on a rotating cylinder, but I'm not really sure what use that is.
Yeah, it depends what you want it for. If you want it as like a character select screen and you want them sort of running, you could put them on invisible, like an invisible rotating cylinder. So
Yeah,
it's like
should we
they're
try
running
it?
on top of a record player.
That's
I
nice.
see.
That's
Yeah,
super
that's
cool.
yeah, it's cool.
Something like that.
Well, this is I mean, this is going to answer that question.
Yeah.
The question was basically, how would you do it?
Yeah.
So
Let's try it. Let's see what happens.
Cool.
If I like,
someone asked,
Is it not possible?
at Media Molecule, are you the guy sitting at the laptop? I am.
He is.
Hello. Whoa.
Excellent question.
I was reading that. I was like, because I was so in the mode
You're
of.
like, am I?
I was like, yeah. Am I? How can Mike answer that one?
what? What?
Yes, I am. Hello.
So what Mike will have to do
I'm
is...
sure this used to work, no?
No, you're going to... So what Mike needs to do is make the puppet follow a tag that's in the middle of the cylinder. Because if you stood on the top of a cylinder and it
Oh, okay.
spun and you didn't try and run, we'll have somewhere to get to.
Reverse it.
Yeah,
flip the
it's going
direction.
the wrong direction.
What's
Rotator, yeah.
Yeah.
the rotator
You can.
to be spinning the opposite way?
Flip down.
Is this what you mean?
Minus.
Yes.
Minus 18. Okay, so now Mike needs to get a follower. They'll
Oh,
tell the
I
puppet to
see.
follow
Right,
a
okay.
tag.
Yeah.
The most useful animation tip coming right up. So let's
It's
follow
on.
Let's me.
Follow me. Okay, great.
If only I could push up on here.
Yeah.
If only.
Cool.
Okay. So now the puppet just needs to have a bit more
Does
oomph.
it need some follow? God,
You
why?
could do it. Turn the acceleration up.
Oh, does it need to go?
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
too
But
fast.
now you just want to put the key actually in the middle of the cylinder, so it's
Okay.
or closer to the cylinder. Else it's
Oh, of course, you're
else
right.
you're always going to have to balance
Yeah.
the speed somehow. And there we go.
This is a very dreams solution to this.
Move it a tiny bit to the
Oh, I'm
right.
so desperate for him to be
Tiny
The
okay.
resistance on your
Okay,
travelator.
not too much. There we go.
So good.
Wow.
So good.
Yay.
Well, so
And then if you made that cylinder now invisible,
I mean, it's not. It's
Not-
it's
you
not
know.
the. I'm sure. What? So you're saying if I tune this correctly, then it'll be.
you could
useful.
do it. Just, yeah. There we go. Anyways, that's one way of doing it.
Look at
Yes.
that.
Someone's
Look at that
asking,
character select.
Could you
screen.
do that? You could do that of any shape, right? And just rotate it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So
it
you
doesn't
could
have to be
rotate it
simple.
on like a flat surface, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Rotate a flat surface?
I mean, you could do it. I mean, you would
Oh, I see,
bounce
right,
up and
yes,
down.
yeah.
It's like having square wheels on your
Yeah.
car, right?
Yeah. Dush.
Oh yes.
That's
Also,
a nice little dreamy
Wow.
way of doing it, isn't it?
yeah. There was a thing. Did anyone notice about this 2D movement?
Oh, yeah, please explain it, Mike.
Well, then you can make 2D games,
Super easy.
and then it goes.
Done.
What? Oh no.
No, it doesn't do that.
I can't say that's the best 2D game I've ever seen, Mike.
Lucky I'm an animator. Not a-
So
not
again, that lives on the puppet
exactly. Yeah. So you can
trick menu.
tweak that, and then it goes.
Question.
Yes.
From Corsam on YouTube. How do you have a faster transition between the idle pose and the procedural walk-run animation? The puppet seems to take some time to come out of the idle pose when running or walking.
Oh, so you would just reduce or increase the deceleration time. So at the moment there's a bit of deceleration, so it sort of slowly comes to a stop. But if you made the deceleration really fast, it'd
Yeah.
slam on the brakes and go straight into.
So if I crank that up,
Yeah.
higher that number, the quicker it's, and the same as
quicker.
so the turn speed. So if I went, so now go, there's no,
Oh yeah, look at that.
More snappy.
so you can make your.
and then when you stop it will go into the idle faster now.
Yeah.
And go
There's
chop, 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 chop.
a really cool new feature for the puppet, which is anticipate turn.
Yeah, to turn anticipation. Yeah, it's cool.
Show me what does it mean?
So let's
Just show it.
let's show it. Good.
Yeah.
So, right, if when you turn it leads with the head, so if I turn this up, it will go more head than the body.
Oh, that's very cool.
Yeah. If you reduce the anticipation.
Yeah, well,
rate.
does the speed as well.
Yeah.
So, well,
It feels very natural. Also,
Yeah.
you
and
could.
if you, oh yes, yeah, and if you want it to be more robotic, so it all moves in one go.
Yeah. Because we do that when turning, we look first.
Yeah.
Or some of us don't and then fall.
Yeah, that's me. I was gonna say. I feel like I really look forward to the other one.
You're more of a zero. You're more of a zero than yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fun. You can actually see the things blending there based on the new outputs, right? Where it's going into run, and jump, and
the sliders moving. You mean?
Yeah.
They are keyframed by the run
at the bottom down there.
Yeah, exactly.
How cool. Any more questions?
Right,
coming in
I'm
there?
going through. Let me have a look. Oh my goodness. I saw one that I wanted to ask. Could you, how someone was asking about creating like a combo of like a
Combo.
combo.
Oh no. Right. Yeah.
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 How do?
How? There's multiple ways. You could use the gates or selectors, and it just depends on. So if you had multiple timelines, what was it? So he swings down. Maybe what's another swing?
So essentially you need, let's do it, say it's a 3-hit combo. You need 3 different animations, one which is like this way, then this way, and then this way to differentiate them. And then it's just about how you trigger them, which is actually a logic problem more than an animation problem.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Oh, so let's say...
And you would also add a cooldown. If you didn't press the button again in a second, it starts from the beginning.
Yes.
Because it's a combo. Somebody asked before, somebody was trying to move the puppet with the mirror mode on, and the arms would not be mirrored, they would be like opposite or do some weird angles. And there's a quick tip that we can explain why.
So, I don't know, does anyone know what that question even meant?
I don't. Please explain.
So at the moment you can do da-da, and
I'm a bird.
So say if you decided to build a character from scratch and not use the biped for some reason.
Why would you do that?
Well, switching, you could do whatever you like, can't you, in Dreams? It's true. So say if I then group this, but then just for speed's sake, that was the character.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So you made your own sculpture for
exactly. You want to build
chest.
Rocket Man, Rocket Person.
This
Unbelievable.
And then you kind of want, oh no, the arms aren't mirroring. Why? It's because this sculpt doesn't have a mirror plane. So if you create a mirror plane, you could, as long as you have a mirror plane, you add a type. So say if you're really happy with that sculpt, but you don't want to see any new sculpt, you can then just go, make it really small, hide it in there. And then, voila, ta-da!
So the tool, it takes that mirror plane from the chest sculpt as the point of reference to transform the arms.
Okay.
Wow.
Mind blown!
How?
Which means you can also twist it to your advantage. And
How is that different from just the mirror where it was before? How did that?
Because there was no mirror there until Mike turned on the mirror and then placed at least one stamp.
Yeah, so
which then went, now I've got a mirror.
Oh, got it, okay.
Yeah.
And you could also rotate that mirror, like that object, so they mirror in different ways.
Oh, so Mike, if you do rotate that object now in the inside, how does that affect it? Out of interest.
I think we need to group it.
Can I just go?
Can you just?
Oh, okay. So I'll go if I select.
That's clever.
Which one is it?
The
Y.
First, there you go.
Okay.
And then again on the cube. So if you press.
It's because of this.
On the cube.
No, it's
Right,
because okay. All right.
Is that gonna work?
What does that even mean? I don't know what that means
It's very
now.
abstract. I like it.
So.
What are you trying to say with this character?
Yeah.
Oh, look, so it follows the mirror plane because the mirror plane is now there.
Oh, so it's sideways now. Oh my god.
So you could do some really cool like stuff this way.
Yeah.
It's how you make a helicopter.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's it.
Okay. Well, that's a good tip. So if
that's
your
a
arms
good
are doing weird stuff, basically
Try
make a
adding a
mirror
mirror
in the middle of
plane.
your character,
Yeah.
and then you can fix it.
There's also.
No,
another animation one.
No.
Again, these are all little secret hidden things. You could dislocate joints. So if I hold down while in animation mode and I hold down L1 and then R2, it's like, what? I could.
So you can do
Oh my
shrugging
God.
shoulders.
Someone
Yeah.
was asking earlier, how can you animate shoulders?
There you
so
go.
if I was then putting this into L1,
How does Dave feel about this?
It works really well, actually, thanks to him. So
yeah,
because you can then, from that point, you can still rotate and behave it as if it was connected originally to that point, but you can always return it back to what it was.
exactly.
So if you
then
need to
go-
like get a better view of
Dun,
so you get
dun,
the always get the putty up top.
why is it so funny? It's
It's
so
cool
simple.
because, like, the fact that your arms can do that is. Do we have like two joints? Like, how does it even?
Here, we have a joint here.
Ah, okay.
I don't know in English how you call that.
What is in Spanish?
Is it
Let's start.
Clavicle,
Clavicular.
and then you've got
Okay.
If you touch this bone here, the clavicle here, you will see it moving up, and you can find the rotation point. It's kind of cool.
That's
Yeah.
very cool. Well, there we go.
Oh, it's
that's
kinda
how you do it.
creepy
Yeah,
good
bodies
tip
are
on-
weird.
Yeah.
Good tip
Good
on the dance floor. Always get the parties up top.
Did you assign a shoulder to each button?
Yes, yeah. So I just tried because it would
Mike's
be
a
a missed
pro.
opportunity if I didn't. So even and after you could then still rotate it from that position as well. After dislocating it as well, you can still do rotation.
That is one hell of a dislocation.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
you should
wow.
probably end up going to hospital if that. If
Yeah.
Well, say if you're,
That seems
That's
kinda
more
cool.
than a shrug.
Yeah. Seems like
but even if you're doing like smear frames or something like that, it's always quite good because
Exactly.
especially with the orange character that we had, his arms was too short to be.
Can you explain what a smear frame is, please, Mike?
No.
Basically, it's when in animation, when you,
Yeah.
you do something fast, you elongate the object to almost like simulate like motion blur,
Exactly,
kind of
yeah.
like
It was a very
you know.
old 2D technique that they used to
Yeah.
do to sort of simulate something moving very quickly.
Can you show the connectors
Yes.
just
yeah,
for the
so-
sake of it, just to see?
Yes, when we have a question, I have a question when
Oh,
we're ready. When
sorry.
we're ready. When we're
Sorry,
ready.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
when we're ready.
Taken over.
You can see that red line connecting now the arm. That red line is between the two halves of the center of the connector.
and it says how much it's dislocated by.
Yeah, actually, we should probably be able to show it if I key into you can see it
there you
where,
go. You can scale up the
where it's gone
connectors. as well.
red. So now it's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sorry.
That's all right. Someone was asking, they've created two poses and added spline transition between keys.
Yeah.
Is it possible to grab a pose between the two keys and create one to
A-
make a middle?
Like a breakdown.
Yeah, breakdown.
We were just talking about splines today. What a coincidence.
I have no word.
What is a
coincidence.
spline?
As in like the person thing.
It's like the little line that
Do you want
goes
this?
between things. So when you draw a spline,
Should we do
you
one?
have like 3 points, and say you move this middle one like this, it will kind of do like that, ooh, and curve like between it. It's a bit like getting a rope, but only attaching it with 3 drawing pins to your wall, and it's not just like zing zing like that. It's like
So
like
it's that movement.
It's that.
between-
It's that. Yeah. It's that path. It's called between the two things. It's a spline. Yeah.
Very cool.
So at the moment, when you sometimes get a character, it all starts being wired up. There's no power running to this timeline. So this is actually sometimes quite good. If you hit the solo, you then see your animation going.
So you have the start and the end.
Yeah, that's
keys.
right. Yeah, so in sort of typical sort of in animation term, you normally have your key poses. So this is like your starting pose and your end pose. And so someone's asking, how do you add a sort of breakdown? Or say you wanted to see how is that arm going to arrive? That looks quite a boring linear motion. So you might sometimes want to bring out the elbows or something like that. So you can put an empty key and then put it down in between
Yeah.
the motion.
And at that point, you can still even grab that keyframe that you just placed down, left and right, and decide which pose you want to. While editing,
to favour.
if you just move now the keyframe left and
Oh, I
right,
see.
you're gonna see that animation play back.
Yeah.
And then you want to decide like which point you want to do that.
Because what's the reason to put it down here is so that you still see the transition between here and here. Because that moment, if I just plonk it in the middle, it breaks it.
It breaks it.
completely.
Yeah.
So you want to see. So say if I then go key in here, add a. Big swing, and then I could drop it back in here. So it's like. Something like that.
Amazing.
He is laying the beat down
Yeah.
on some poor sucker.
What would happen if you like added springiness to that?
What would happen?
Would it be smoother or would it like?
We can see it.
Sorry, I'm gonna be the annoying.
No, that's right. So if I added spring, actually, it would soften the motion
Yeah.
in general.
So one thing I'd say is whenever you have a question like that in your head, it's just like, if you're at home, just do it. Just
Do
add
it,
some
yeah.
springiness.
Yeah.
Like turn those sliders up, see what happens. You know,
Yeah. In this case, it's not reaching that breakdown.
Because it's
it can't quite
It's
get
too
there.
fast.
too
Sorry.
fast. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
But if you want a nice settling animation, so say after it hits, the hand
Yeah,
hangs in there and kind of wobbles, you can copy that M key, if you can do it now, just you can copy like a second later, and then add springiness to
That
that
one.
first M key, and during that seconds, you will see the springiness
Yeah.
acting out.
And it'll rest
And
at the original.
it will
position.
rest, yeah.
You don't have to add springiness to the whole animation. You can add it to certain parts of the animation. 'Cause it's
Let's-
on a per keyframe basis.
Very
Yeah.
cool.
We can do that quickly just to show.
On the.
Give me.
Okay.
Sorry, Mike.
No, that's cool.
This is very quick.
Go,
So,
Pablo, go!
because this is fun and has a nice result. So, so we have the M key there, and we want the arm to rest and wobble. So I'm just gonna
Wow, 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 wow.
exactly. Just gonna duplicate the same key, add the interpolation, add springiness in the middle, which means like that keyframe has the springiness, and you can see the white lines showing that springiness. So you can see now that it's gonna settle down, and it's because it's the same keyframe there. It's not gonna go anywhere. It's just gonna wobble there.
And it also means the one on the left, where you get the breakdown, the high bit up, is going to get there instantly. So it's not going to like half reach now. It get like all the way to the top.
Oh my.
Oh, sorry, I got
Okay,
a remote.
there you go.
There you go. Go on, play and then press square. Play square.
Ah, that's a really good
It's a
question for you,
for
Mike.
Oh no.
It's not about it doing anything. It's about a bit of trivia.
Oh right.
How
okay.
many keyframes does router have?
Which?
Let's
bit?
do one where router wakes up and
Yeah.
like climbs
Climbs
down. You know,
You get that sideways
Don't know.
shot.
Don't know.
Guess.
Many?
Don't know.
Any-
A lot of keys.
I'm doing
A
that.
lot of keys. So I probably have a keyframe per arm, a row of keys per arm, legs, torso, and hips. So I don't know. A lot. a lot.
Hundreds of thousands.
It's probably in the hundreds. I think. Yeah.
At least 4.
at least
More than this.
So my experiment has failed somehow. I'm missing something.
It's probably because it's powering up the
other one.
idle, so you want to play that out to the end. Oh no,
This one?
I think it is that one. The bottom one. Just get right to the end. No.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh.
He's just a little wonky.
isn't it the
Bit
end one
lazy.
you've got to make springy?
Possibly, John. Possibly. Yes.
I mean, not put another one in there.
You might
just
be-
literally just make the end one springy.
you might be correct.
And also the fact like the animation isn't that great on that
So if you
swing.
if you just make that last one springy.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, it is springy. Oh, okay. No,
Oh no, but extend it because it's powering down, isn't it? So you got to make
I don't know anymore. I've
Yes,
completely lost my mind.
Oh well. Back to you,
Okay.
Mike.
I get the idea. Yeah.
That is wobbly, isn't it? Whoa. No.
I think something
Not
else is
supposed to
taking
should
control of the arm.
Okay, well let's look.
Taking control.
Okay. I do not know.
I'm glad I'm not
Rewind.
today.
We rewinded.
Oh, there you go.
Nothing happened.
Wow.
Oh, how did you do it?
Rewind
How did you do it?
Oh, no,
One of them.
Oh, wait a minute. Is it because we're on play mode or something?
It's right. Next.
So this is
How about the?
it's actually really fun to see you guys like real-time problem solving.
Yeah,
This is
it is.
actually
Yeah.
what happens. You know.
It's just, it's not really. It's sort of like.
You there? How dare you?
Oh my god.
I challenge you to a duel.
He's like conducting us.
Yeah, it's like ta-da.
He's conducting an orchestra while also clobbering that guy.
Yes.
We didn't get on to do we didn't finish the combo. You had started doing the combo, but you
Yes. I thought we.
you thought you would
I
explain
thought
that
we were
one.
like, yeah, it's a design question.
Oh, okay.
Ignore.
It's definitely logic. I mean, what I would do is you make 3 different animations,
Yes, exactly.
and then you
yeah.
just get a selector, and then as you press it, it just keeps moving up each one. But it waits until it moves up by waiting for the end output of one of the timelines before moving up to the next.
I think
one,
it's
basically.
definitely. I think if that's a thing that we want to show, maybe that could be saved as a separate stream, and then have one of those characters all fully juiced up with all the stuff, and then we could probably break it down to like what we were doing and things like that.
Have you got any other questions, Tom? Coming in.
There was a question about having an animation run, but only after a button is released. So, like, not a button triggering an animation, but like you hold down X, let go, and then an animation.
Oh yeah, that's super easy. So if you just all you need is the signal manipulator. If Mike grabs one out.
Oh, I see. Oh, when you release the button to run.
Yeah. It's not about running.
Button.
It's about running the animation. So if you get a signal manipulator, there's a really cool thing. If you go to the last page,
It's
where it says
on
custom,
release.
and then there's one there which says pulse on off. You had it at the top, wherever it was. Pulse on off. Pulse it off. There we go. So that basically means if Mike wires X into it, you'll see it working in real time, or any button, whichever button you prefer.
Let's go triangle.
Let's go triangle. So if Mike presses triangle, and then when Mike lets go of triangle,
Hang on,
you'll see it.
who's
You'll
this
see
puppet?
it.
Okay, so let's make it remote.
Remote control. So it's like press triangle, and then it's only when you let go of triangle you see the right hand side.
Yeah.
Pop
So
up.
let's.
So
lights
that
are
can be
always
hooked into
very
an
good
animation.
at. I always find lights very good at checking your logic.
Yeah.
So if I press triangle,
let go. Yeah, it's when you let go.
like-
So the cool thing is, this is great for like a jump where you hold X, and you can do turns on the keyframe of down like this, like crouch.
Yeah.
And then let go plays a timeline of jumping into the air.
Yeah,
and
that's it. Yes.
swinging through the air.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just a signal manipulator. That's all you need.
I like that you use a light to check your
My
logic.
logic.
Just like 1-0, but with light. That's awesome.
It's the best. It's the easiest.
I usually,
Visual,
I
visual.
usually use a sound. Just like, boop. Okay, cool. That's
Nice. That's good.
Okay.
I don't know if you covered this off earlier, but someone was asking how to loop smoothly. Is it just the same keyframe at the start and end, and just drag in the end, or do we also need to do this trim start and trim at the end?
Oh, that's a nice one.
Yeah, I mean, we got examples of that. I mean, even the router.
Maybe not, because I don't think Dream Queen has currently played through. Yeah, no, because we haven't got, because obviously it's a prize. So.
The Dream Queen hasn't played Art Stream yet.
No, not yet. No, that you won't have any of the characters.
Land swing. Whoa,
No,
that's not land swing.
That's not Lance Swing. That's the community creation.
Okay.
But to answer your question, yes, you basically just copy the keyframe that's at the beginning, and if it's a single frame keyframe, when you trim the timeline, it will automatically bump up against the keyframe and stop, which is a really handy little feature, but only if it's a single frame keyframe though.
It's worth demoing. Maybe just having a square going left to right.
Yeah.
Or an idle.
Yeah.
Just
So. Cubes going from here to there
That's Lance Swing's dad. Mr. Lance Swing.
and back, right? So in a second. So if you squash the end,
It automatically bumps into it. Only if it's a single frame though. If that keyframe is larger, you can actually.
well, as long as it's the last frame.
Yes. Yeah.
So yeah,
yeah.
But if it's a long keyframe,
it still bunches up.
Does it?
To the very end. Yeah.
Oh,
Try that. Let's try.
So if you extend that last frame, I actually, I must.
If I
all
scale
these
that-
years I've
No, so
done-
yeah, now
so
scale
if you
that
make
right
that last
up,
one
and
big,
now-
and then try and shrink. I thought it shrunk over. Oh, it just goes all the way
Yeah.
down to the last
so
one.
that's
Okay.
still good.
That's cool.
Yeah, that will give you that smooth loop.
Smooth.
Very often, I found myself in the woods. No, very often I found myself
What?
needing to.
He just finds himself in the woods.
Oh, I heard something.
Stay on track.
Oh,
So sometimes, if you have an animation, because this one is back and forth, but if you have like a circular animation, this will not be enough. You will see like a popping when it loops. So what you can do is clone this So now the animation, like I can delete that. It's the beginning one. So actually, if I color the keyframes, you're gonna see clearly what I mean. Just color them green.
A different shade of
A
green.
slightly different green.
So we have the beginning, the middle, and the end, and then again the middle, right? So what I want to do is to help Dreams understand or make the loop smooth. You can trim like that with these ones here.
Because it always looks ahead or something like that.
It always looks ahead, exactly.
Yeah.
And then like the same thing for the beginning. You're gonna see in a moment. You understand? Just place that, delete that, and I put it up. I copy both to nail the distance between them. So if you have the exact animation before and after your trims,
Yeah.
Dreams is gonna understand what you want to do.
So I understand the theory of doing that, but because it was already smooth, what's the application of that? Because it was already working, so it's like what cases does it not work in?
If you have a character animation and it's doing something more complex than back and forth, especially like circular motions, like if the hip is doing a circular motion, stuff like that, you can use this technique or place this animation, which is 3 keyframes,
Do a circle.
on a timeline.
Should make a circle animation.
And then you can, it's fine, I think the example is clear.
So it's always good.
You can
Do a
place this.
circle.
It's fine.
You can place this animation.
Yeah.
You can make this animation on a timeline that is looping,
Yeah.
and then you can offset like this.
That's very good.
Actually, we do that a lot as well. We do this a lot when
That's
we
a
want to
pro tip.
offset.
Actually, you can find my cat animation. That has all the sprout.
Sprout. This is actually Mike's cat.
My cat.
Sprout.
Oh,
Wow.
This one?
Yes, that's right. Yeah, and so if you look in the timeline, it has a similar.
Close that.
Look at all the logic.
Very tidy.
Yes.
Very tidy.
What is this? Where is?
What is
Oh, walk around. Yes, look, I labelled it.
always
Always
label?
So
That's it.
So I had this thing that was walking.
It's a bit like brickwork. I understand. That's really clever.
So if I just delete.
That was a tricky word to delete.
That was
aw.
And so I think I offset everything just by one. So if I
Oh dear! Oh, that is. It's like.
and so then I sort of
Bounding.
Oh wow!
and so now I could then offset it also for doing like quadrupeds. That's always quite useful to
If you want
find that middle point or something like
It's
that.
like
Yeah.
a scamper. It's like a horse when it goes between.
Yeah, don't they kind of line up depending
Oh
on
yeah,
the
what way
speed?
do that? The
It's
canter.
amazing.
And
Yeah,
what's the name? It's trot,
Canter,
Canter,
gallop.
that's the one,
Okay,
yeah. and dressage horses. You know what it's like.
Again, it's
I'm
Yeah.
a horse. I'm a horse. And
I'm a horse.
That's what they say actually too when they're doing it.
It is.
yeah. So actually having them split up like this as well. It's always
That's really
quite-
cool. Wow.
And the ears go back. Oh,
And so then,
cute.
it's a very lazy way of animating actually.
my
So it means like you could then just sort of align it so that it looks right.
It's not lazy though. It's just good
It's
practice.
clever, yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
it's like it's cheating a bit, but
Don't
it's
work
fine.
hard.
It's
Work
fine.
smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's how. So
Strong life motto.
Lance. So that's what I was trying to show. Lance Ring and Router shares the same.
I think we've probably got
Loopy.
time for one more question.
Oh
Yeah, I
wow.
think actually, Pablo, you had a couple of ones in your book that you.
Oh no, it's just doodles.
Oh right.
That's his lines for today.
I like walking in woods.
which
no,
dad jokes will I say on the street today?
they're here. We wanted to show maybe or like encourage people to have puppets react to environment. Like if your character is approaching kind of a cave or something, crouching down, which is is very easy to do, but you don't see it much. Or if
Okay.
it's walking on a pond, then the knees would go up.
Yeah,
and all it
that's true,
takes
yeah.
is keyframe the pose and keyframe the sliders of the puppet properties, so it changes its animation.
A really
What
good
would
one
you- I'm
is
sorry.
if you're walking across like
Like
a
a
thin
crouch.
beam, you can just detect just by labelling the bit of ground, and then you just put your arms out like this. You're balancing, you know.
That's
like
it, that's
stuff
what I
like
mean.
It's really,
I was
really
going to
easy.
ask how would you detect it, which there's probably several different ways. You
There's
could
several
use it
different ways, yeah.
Labeling the sculpt of the ground,
Yeah.
or using sugar zones.
Or laser scopes or
Laser
stuff like
scopes.
that. Yeah, exactly.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so say if it's... you wouldn't have thought I was an animator, would you, with this kind of posing? But imagine...
Strong.
Strong posing. Good. It's still got the shoulders, so it's all right.
That's all you need. When you're going into a cave, it's all
Yeah.
about the shoulders.
As long as you got some swagger.
Yeah, exactly.
some
So
sass.
say you're doing the walk, but then you want to then make a little crouching pose, as you were saying. When you're in that crouch, you probably don't want it to be running. You might want to slow it all down completely.
It's hard on the knees there.
Yeah, it's quite tough. We'll treat the pose. We'll work it. Talk around.
Seriously.
Okay, so,
Joint problems.
okay, so maybe we'll bring up the stompiness. And what else is going on here? It doesn't help actually that I've got remote control, does it? So every time rotating, it's
You're jumping, yeah.
spinning the camera around. Okay, so let's do that again. So I play the walk and then go into edit with the keyframe. And then I suppose you could have foot separation a little bit wider.
But I see with the same keyframe, and then as you mentioned, that keyframe is being driven by whatever method you want, trigger zone or anything.
Yeah. Okay, that's a bit more.
And it's cool is if you use the triggers on the fall off, could make it like blend into that position too.
Exactly.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
And also, if you could also load this key up to say, turn off the run, because when you're crouching, you never want to run.
And also
Okay.
and most importantly, the collision shape of the character on the inside, you can lower down, so you can crouch and fit under lower
Genius,
things.
genius. Yes. Yeah.
Show that. That's really good. I don't know if people are aware of that collision shape of
Yeah.
the puppet.
Let's have a
you go.
look.
Yeah.
So, on the street page here, we've got this collision sphere. So
The white capsule,
So then just lower it down to match
Oh.
the puppet, basically.
Oh,
the first one.
There we go.
goodness
There we
me.
go.
Okay, sorry.
And so that means you can now fit under a lower area. For
And
gameplay, it's all about the gameplay.
It's all about the gameplay.
Because you were saying if you could add tags to this, couldn't you? So say it's a whack
Yeah.
duck.
You can use the duck emoji.
Nice, missed opportunity. And then you can go. So what's the time?
You
We've got
have
a couple of minutes.
3 minutes. 3 minutes to go. 3 minutes to go.
Something like this, isn't it? You probably want to attach this trigger zone on the geometry.
You have fall off in the trigger zone.
Yeah. So the way I would
Is that how you
detect
do it?
this for like a pro tip for the future is instead of using zones, if you have a raycast, the laser scope in the puppet looking up, as soon as it is lower than maximum, you can get the puppet to duck. And in fact, you can power
Nailed it.
timeline or the keyframe over a period. So the lower the ceiling gets, the more they crouch down.
And it will follow the shape of that
Follow the
ceiling.
shape, yeah.
What's funny is it didn't even need to go.
Yeah.
But yes.
You didn't use fall off, so it's
Oh,
silent,
okay,
but-
all right.
But
Actually, but I could also. Could I not just use this
Yeah,
That'd make it smoother, yeah.
yeah.
or not? Yeah.
So if I guess people know about that, but keyframes have that
Nice.
time to power in, the power on and off.
Yes, it's really useful.
Ta-da! Oh,
Oh, no.
lost the trigger zone. Oh, there it is. There we go.
That's how I get into the cave.
Yeah. Dush, dush.
This is like Tom Lee in regular life.
It's just him coming to work.
Cool.
Wow. Well, it
Wow.
was an hour of intense
Sorry, I
animating
hope
questions.
that was enough there.
No, I think people have learned. People have
Yeah.
are taking away some notes.
I learned.
I learned.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
We'll do more. We'll do another animation stream,
Yeah.
I'm sure. I'm just gonna make us big.
But remember the shoulders.
Yeah, we're big now. Thank you, Mike. Thank you,
That's all
Pablo. Thank you, John. Thank you, Lisa.
Ah,
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody,
Pleasure.
for watching. We will be back on Thursday with a bunch of amazing community creations. There's Lisa. Look, there's Lisa's arm.
There's some really amazing creations I've
great?
seen. I was playing some cool stuff. I don't want to spoil
Yeah.
it because they'll probably be on
Probably stream
the
it.
stream, but like I was into it.
Some good stuff
me and Hannah
happening.
were having
Yeah.
some good
Party
times.
times.
In a sense, says thanks for the tips.
Cool.
So thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
We shall see you
Yeah.
on Thursday. Have a lovely evening, a lovely Wednesday, and yes, goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. It's Tuesday.